Hello there, Byakamusu desu and welcome to my review of Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. So it's been a while since I've done a Kingdom Hearts review, but I left off at Birth by Sleep, I think. So now I'm moving on to Dream Drop Distance, where we can play with both Sora and Riku. So from what I can gather, this basically occurs after Kingdom Hearts 2, where Sora and Riku are with Master Yen Sid, and he proposes that both of them, because they are currently the only Keyblade wielders besides Mickey and Kairi, which is going to train under him for now with Axel. I think we are at that point in that game. And he wants to choose another Keyblade Master, and he hopes that both Sora and Riku may pass the test, show the mark of mastery, and become Keyblade Masters. The first thing that baffled me was how different the Mark of Mastery exam was for Sora and Riku versus Aqua and Terra. Because in Birth by Sleep you also have the Mark of Mastery exam, and it's really simple. You just have to fight these bubbles of light, and then they fight each other, and at the end Ericus and Xehanort, which are the ones that are evaluating them, decide that Aqua has shown the Mark of Mastery, which I don't know what it is, and Terra has failed because he has shown that darkness still has a place in his heart. And for Sora and Riku, they have to unlock 7 sleeping keyholes. So it's really different. I know that this is supposed to last for an entire game, and the game is fun to play, but it's much more difficult than what Aqua and Terra had to do. Apart from that, I really enjoyed the game. I really like the worlds that are in it, because most of them are worlds that we haven't seen before, and some are worlds we have already visited. And the worlds that we have already visited are a bit confusing, because for Tron it's a sequel because it adapts the remake movie that Disney did not long. I think it's Tron Legacy. But when you go to Pinocchio's world, for example, it's before the events that take place in Kingdom Hearts 1. So for me that's a bit confusing. I know that further in the game they will talk about time travel, because I feel like this game was basically to introduce young Xehanort and all the shenanigans that Xehanort has done with time travel. It will also introduce you to what is the real Organization 13 that you will see in Kingdom Hearts 3, but the story is really confusing because you start with one thing, and I think the Master Yen Sid is really to blame for everything that happens during this Mark of Mastery exam, because he tried to do 2 things at the same time. He tried to choose Keyblade Masters, and at the same time he needed to close these sleeping keyholes. It's really confusing, and then you discover that they aren't really out, they supposedly are inside Sora. I don't know, it's really confusing. Apart from that, the worlds are really fun to visit. I really enjoyed visiting the worlds twice and seeing different parts of the story with both Sora and Riku. One of my favorite worlds was, of course, the world of Fantasia, because it's really fun to be playing a Kingdom Hearts game and listening to the classical soundtrack. It was really well done, and you had the flow motion was done with a small portion of these classical pieces and with a rhythm game that was really well done. So I want to congratulate Dream Drop Distance for that. And Basically, the game is really enjoyable. I know that some people don't enjoy the drop gauge mechanic, but I didn't really struggle with that because I defeated the bosses. Sometimes I did the drop to change characters, and it didn't really bother me, so I thought it was a fun mechanic to switch between the characters. And I also enjoyed the traveling between worlds, the falling to the worlds. I thought it was much more fun than doing the gummy ships missions, so I'm really thankful for that. And of course, I really enjoyed the mixture or the appearances of the World Ends With You characters. They were really fun to watch in Traverse Town, which is the only world they appear. I suspect that with Joshua they revealed some spoilers for the game in this Kingdom Hearts game, and I felt that I was really curious about the game and they were dropping some spoilers about it, but I still want to, if possible, try to play it or know more about The World Ends With You, because I really enjoy knowing the characters and I would like to see what kind of game and story they have to tell in their own game. I enjoy the Dream Eaters, they are really cute. It's really fun to use them because Sora partners with them and Riku basically absorbs them for a limited amount of time and gains different powers. So it was really fun to play with both of them because they have different ways and different styles of fighting, just like I experienced in Birth by Sleep with each character. I think with this game, Nomura really pushed the bromance between Riku and Sora. So it's really fun to see their interactions, how Riku really dedicates because at the end he discovers that his sigil is basically his role is to be a dream eater of Sora's nightmares. I still don't know exactly what that means. I feel like that is left in the open, but I really enjoyed it. Although I still feel like the story is really confusing. Bosses that I didn't like, so I think the game is I played in beginner mode like I did with all Kingdom Hearts because I want a fun adventure and not been doing grind and everything. But two bosses I didn't enjoy were the anti-nightmare, which Riku has to fight to try to wake up Sora. That was the most difficult boss that I had to do. I died so many times. I was at a point that I thought that I was going to be like rechained because that was so difficult. Young Xehanort was also really difficult to do, but surprisingly it was much more it was easier than the anti-nightmare. So the anti-nightmare is the worst thing that I played in Dream Drop Distance. For the rest, I think the game is really interesting. I really enjoyed seeing the characters, the soundtrack. You recognize some of the music. Once again, in Fantasia you are able to hear the classical pieces that are part of the movie, and it's really fun to explore the sceneries that you see in Fantasia and to hear the classical pieces. And that was, for me, it was one of the highlights, but I'm a little suspicious to speak about that. So tell me what you think about this game. Tell me which one of the characters is your favorite to play, because I really enjoy playing with Sora, but I think playing with Riku is always a different experience because he is really powerful and he's different using the mechanics, so I don't know which one I prefer because they are really different. And tell me what you think about this game. See you!